Hello and welcome back to my channel if you're new here. Hi, my name is Ness and I like to talk about books. Today I'm going to be talking about the 9 books that I hope to read in the month of October. It's a little stack that looks like this and let's just get into it. I haven't done a TBR video for quite a while. I did ask on Twitter if people would be interested in me bringing them back, and overwhelmingly the response was really positive, so I give the people what they want. So I'm bringing back a TBR video for October to see how it goes. I think it's very fitting for the month of October that I bring my TBR videos back, because October is generally the month that I do the most amount of reading. I don't know what it is about October. I don't know if it's because of Halloween and Dark Nights are coming in. I just generally feel inspired to read more books. And with 200 unread books, again, I need to get through them as quick as possible. So I think this stack of 9 books is more than doable. If I'm honest, I expect to read a bit more, but these are the ones that I've specifically picked out because I think 1, they'll be good reads for me for October, and 2, because I think that they're good recommendations to make for this season in general. When I think of October, of course I think of horror and mystery, but I also think of fairy tale, atmospheric, lyrical prose. So hopefully you kind of get that vibe from this as well. I've picked a range of books that are both new, some of them I got for my birthday, and also books that have been on my shelf for a long time because I need to start clearing space behind me for new books. But I have promised myself no more new books this year, apart from Fairy Loot and Illumicrate of course, because we're going to start double stacking and I just can't have that. In the next few days I will be returning my wrap-up videos so you can see what I have read. I've got about 40 books to update you on, but if I'm honest, there is a reason why I haven't been talking about books that I have read on my channel, and I will discuss that more in my summer wrap-up video, which should be up in the next few days. Anyway, I'm done with chatting, let's get into the video. So the first book that I picked for this month is The Near Witch by V.E. Schwab. This has some beautiful stenciled edges. I got this from Waterstones about 3 years ago. I purely got it because it was buy one get one half price and I wanted a book full price anyway, and I thought, you know what, I can get a book really cheap, so this cost me £4, so I picked it up. I didn't know at the time though that this was Victoria Schwab's debut novel. This is quite an old book, it's over 10 years old, and it went out of print for a long time, but then they brought it back with the success of her later novels. But it may have gone out of print again, I'm not sure. This is a standalone novel with an interesting premise. I can't tell whether it's young adult or if it's adult, if I'm honest. I'm leaning more towards young adult, but everything on Goodreads was tagging it as adult and not young adult. But some of the commendations that it's had have been saying like best young adult of the season and stuff. I really done lots of research into this and couldn't get an answer. So if you know in the comments, please let me know. This is described as a chilling and atmospheric, half a dark fairy tale, half a romance novel. In this book our main character is Lexi, and she knows of this old wives' tale about children going missing, you know, like the kind of stories grandmas would say to scare young children. But then one night she looks out of her window and it seems like a boy disappears into thin air, and then over time children do start going missing. Part of the old wives' tale talks about witches and witchcraft as well, and as the hunt for the children intensifies, Lexi is drawn to finding out answers about witches and magic and the truth to the legends. Seems right up my alley for this season. The next book is one that I've been meaning to get to for a very long time. I've had this as well for about a year or two, and that is The Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller. I haven't yet read a Madeline Miller book, but I do also own Circe as well. And I was really toying with which one do I read first, Song of Achilles or Circe, and I just kind of like picked it random if I'm honest. Song of Achilles is a very popular adult romance novel set in the Greek heroic age. Oh, what a tongue twister. This is like a reimagining or retelling of Homer's Iliad, and it follows the relationship of, now bear with me, I've never said this word out loud, Patroclus. Oh my god, this is so embarrassing. I have really bad problems with speech, okay, so yeah, so anyway, with that guy and Achilles, which is a gay romance, and it follows them from first meeting up until the events of the Trojan War. About 30% of what I've heard about this book is really bad, and 70% of what I've heard about this book is like people rating it 5 stars and crying and never getting over this book. So I want to know what the fuss is about. I don't usually read adult books like this, especially ones that are quite like romance undertones, especially where there's a sad ending. Should I do star predictions for this video as well? Should I make that a thing? I don't know, I kind of predict that this might be a 3.5 or a 4-star read because it is her debut novel and I don't want to hold it to high standards. This one I predict this is probably going to be a 4-star read for me. I feel like I'll neither love it nor hate it, which is usually the case with popular books. The next book is a sequel and it's A Kingdom of Flesh and Fire, which is a sequel to From Blood and Ash. I actually only rated From Blood and Ash 3 stars and my major problem with it is the first 70% of the book nothing happened. It dragged so much. I was so bored for the first 70% of the novel and in the last 30% it really picked up. It was actually only in the last 10% of the book that I thought, you know, I'm actually going to continue the series, because for the majority of it I was not going to continue the series after I finished the book. That was a rare example for me of a book that had smut in it that I enjoyed. So, it definitely wasn't what I thought that it was going to be, if I'm honest. It reads quite casual and it doesn't take itself seriously. In the first book we are following the main character, who is the maiden, who is like a virgin that is going to be sacrificed to the gods in order to ascend the upper class of society. There's like a whole complex system of like gods and ascended people and normal people. The book had so much potential if it wasn't so damn predictable. It was so predictable, but it was still fun at the same time. Some of the characters were cringe, if I'm honest. I don't really understand the attraction towards the male romance lead. The arrogance level is off the charts. But anyway, you do you if you liked it. I mean, I'm continuing reading the book, so who am I to judge? I think this might be a 2-star read for me, if I'm honest. It could go either way. If this book is like what the last 30% of book 1 is like, I'm interested. If it's like the first part of the book, I think we're going to struggle. But we'll see. Anyway, yes, a 2-star prediction. But I'm holding the hope. Next is another birthday pick, and this is House of Hollow by Crystal Sutherland. And this was a birthday gift of the lovely Sarah from Ginger Books. I will leave anyone's links or to blogs or YouTube channels or Twitters or Instagrams to people who gifted me some of these in the description as well. If you didn't already check them out after my birthday haul video, please go and do so. House of Hollow is quite a thin read, but it seems like it's going to have a lot in it. It's a young adult standalone which is categorised as horror and mystery. In this novel, we follow 3 sisters, but as young children, they go missing under mysterious circumstances and then reappear. And now that they're older, they can't remember what happened to them when they initially disappeared, and it's all a bit of a mystery to them. However, once they're now older, the eldest sister actually goes missing again, and the other 2 sisters are trying to find out what is going on, like, what is the mystery here? And while they're trying to find their sister, they uncover many secrets. I think the premise of this sounds absolutely amazing. Has a stunning cover. I love the flowers on this. The fact that I was able to keep this until October, I'm so impressed with myself, because as soon as I opened this in August I was like, I have to read this book, but I knew I'd enjoyed it a lot more if I left it until now. Maybe a 4.5 5-star prediction on this one. It has some really great reviews. Next is Wranglestone. This actually has some really weird marks on it off Amazon. If anyone knows how to get weird like oily marks off books, please let me know. And this is by Darren Charlton, and this is another birthday gift that I got off my adorable beautiful friend Lily. She also has a YouTube channel which I will leave in the description. It's actually not the only gift from Lily in this pile, actually. Quite overwhelming. I love the colours of this book. I think this book has an absolutely stunning cover, and it kind of doesn't really match what the plot of the book sounds like, if I'm honest. Wranglestone is a young adult gay romance set in a post-apocalyptic USA with zombies. It's like a coming of age love story, but you know, with the background of zombie end of world. I've only just realised that this book has a map in it. I haven't read into any more of what this book is about because I actually really want to go into this blind and let this plot like pan out in front of me instead of reading the back and knowing exactly what to expect. So I'm excited for this book. I don't know if it's a sequel or not. If you go on Goodreads, it actually says Wranglestone like #1 for this book, but if you click into it, it doesn't bring up any sequels for the book yet. So I don't know if this is going to be a standalone or if it has a sequel. If you have any answers for me, please let me know in the comments. 5-star prediction. 4.5, 4.5, 5-star prediction. Next is the Illumicrate book for August. So if you don't want to be spoilt about what that is, please leave this video or skip ahead by 10 minutes because I would hate to spoil something for you. But this is the Illumicrate August book, The Devil Makes 3. I absolutely love the Illumicrate cover as well. I think they've done such a great job on this edition. The Devil Makes 3 is a young adult book. It's mystery, it's dark academia, and in this novel the two main characters are at like a private school. I believe Tess, the main girl, is working at the school's library or something, and Elliot is a student there, and they accidentally stumble upon an ancient book which releases a demon. They're forced to work together to try and retrap this devil before he kills everyone they know and love, including increasingly each other. And compared to what the devil has in store for them, school stress suddenly doesn't seem so bad after all. Look at this edition though. It is just the most beautiful edition in the UK for this book. Scarily enough, I think this is the first Illumicrate edition I'm actually going to be reading. The reason I haven't read them so far is because I'm so scared of making them dirty, because as soon as I take this off, which I will to protect it, underneath I'm gonna get like fingerprints all over the hardcover. And what I've been meaning to do is buy like a fabric hardcover, but I just want to read it. I don't have time for that. I'm probably going to wear like gloves to read it. It seems atmospheric and I'm excited to read it this season. I think this might be a 4-star prediction. Next is A Lesson in Vengeance. I was very lucky to find a UK listen for this because this is a US edition. This doesn't come out in the UK until next February, I believe. And the UK cover to me just isn't as nice as this one. I mean, some people are going to think the UK cover is absolutely stunning compared to this, but in my opinion, I love flowers and I love the way the flowers intertwine. I think I got this from Blackwell Books. It was actually a really great deal. I just saw someone tweet about it on Twitter and thought, you know what, I'm going to purchase it. I think it was about £12 with delivery, so I'm very pleased to have it. A Lesson in Vengeance is a young adult fantasy, dark academia again. It is also LGBT. In this story, the main character, Felicity, returns to her school after an extended break due to the passing of her girlfriend. When she returns to the school is notorious and there's lots of rumours about ghosts and it being haunted by the Dalloway Five, who are 5 students who have unfortunately perished. And there's also like undertones of witchcraft. Another student called Ellis also starts the school as a first year, and Ellis is actually like an accomplished writer, and for her second book she decides she wants to write about the Dalloway Five, like an investigation piece. And Ellis becomes very drawn to Felicity and asks Felicity to work with her on this project. So together they start investigating the Dalloway Five and the haunting and the witch element to it. Gonna be honest, I was more drawn into the cover than the actual plot. I didn't really understand what the plot was about. I just saw this cover and thought, yes, I must have this for October. 4-star prediction, I think. 4 stars. 10 out of 10 on this cover. I love it so much. 2 books left and they're actually both really short books. So the first one is Dowry of Blood. This is actually another birthday present that wasn't featured in my birthday book haul, but it was great timing when it was arrived. So my lovely dear friend of Twitter, Kaitlyn, saw my birthday book haul and decided that she wanted to get me a birthday present. So she found my wish list and bought me something, and this actually came on the day that my husband went into hospital in a car accident. So I came back from the hospital and this was waiting for me, and when I opened it I just burst into tears. The note that came with it was so beautiful. It just really warmed my heart so much, and I'm extremely grateful to Kaitlyn Dowry of Blood is an adult retelling of the Brides of Dracula story. On Goodreads this is tagged as horror and LGBT. This is probably the book that has the best reviews out of all of these books that I'm shown. It has the highest rating on Goodreads, and that makes me very nervous but also extremely excited. I have seen a lot of comments though saying that for this book, if you are interested, to check the content warnings, because this does have some very heavy themes and one of them predominantly is abusive relationships. The perspective of this book is the first bride of Dracula, and the way that this book is written is that it's like an open letter to a husband. If you flick through it, I was like, where's the chapters in it? It seems to flow very differently, like some pages just have like 2 lines on, so I'm very interested to see how this reads. This does have a sapphic element to it, and I'm wondering if this is it, because it says, finding comfort in the arms of her rival consorts, she begins to unravel their husband's dark secrets. So I'm wondering if that is like the love romance there. Although it is also tagged as polyamorous as well in the reviews. Regardless, I love this cover to bits. This is a 5-star prediction for me. I hope I love it. I've been really craving a fantastic out of this world retelling of anything to do with Dracula and Brides of Dracula. I just haven't quite got it yet, so I'm hoping that this is the one. And last but certainly not least is Every Heart a Doorway, and this was just a present of Lily. She didn't get it for my birthday or anything, but I have had it since my birthday, hence why you haven't seen it before, and she just got it to cheer me up when I was going through a really bad time, and if that is not true friendship, I don't know what is. I'm so drawn to this book and I don't know why. I don't know if it's the cover or if when you open it up it looks like old paper inside, or if it's because like there's actual decals on the book here you might not be able to see. I just feel like when you buy a book straight off the shelf, if it's not a special edition, it doesn't come with all these little features, which I've really enjoyed about this. But this does seem to be an American edition because the price is in dollars. When I first saw how thin Every Heart a Doorway was, I was very confused given all the hype about it and how many amazing reviews it's had. I was like, was not expecting it to be a novella, but it is. It's also the first in a series. This is tagged as young adult on Goodreads, but I don't think it is. I think this is an adult novel, but just also has an appeal to younger readers as well. It is a fantasy that still manages to fit a lot of representation into the small size. The main character is asexual, and I also believe there's a transgender character in here. I don't know if it's the main character or a side character. When I was reading up about this book, it seems like it's quite hard to explain what this book is actually about. It's fairy tale-esque in a way, like a creepy fairy tale about children who have managed to slip through the cracks and enter fantasy worlds, you know, like walking through the wardrobe and going into Narnia or Alice in Wonderland feel, like that type of thing. And someone called Eleanor West decides to open a school for children who have claimed that they've been to these fantasy worlds, and their parents, they think they're unruly and they don't want to do with them anymore. Eleanor West has a school for that. And Eleanor claims to help them, but not in the way that the parents expect. I've also read that this has some type of murder mystery element to it as well. On the back it says Girl Interrupted meets Grimm's Fairy Tales. I mean, that's not a comparison I thought I'd ever read, but I loved Girl Interrupted. Again, I think this is going to be such a quick read. 5-star prediction. Based on what I've read about it, I think it's just going to be my type of book, if I'm honest. I love anything like fairy tale-esque with a lot of good representation in it, so I think this is going to be another 5-star read. So that is my full October TBR. Like I said, I expect I'm probably going to get around to more books. I'm actually reading on my phone for the first time. Usually I get like bad eyes when I read on my phone, but I've discovered that Amazon Prime comes with books that you can like rent. You can hold 10 at a time, and the Zodiac Academy was one of them, so I am reading the Zodiac Academy on my phone. And I do have 25% of A Pinch of Magic to finish as well, which is a book I'm really enjoying. I think that's going to be a 5-star read, but I will include it in my September wrap up, which will also be coming in around a week's time. Oh, and of course I'll be doing an October wrap up where we can compare the predictions to what I actually gave them or how I actually felt about them. So if you're interested to see what I actually think of these novels, please stick around and watch that video. Thank you to everyone that subscribed to me recently. I really appreciated it. Let me know if you've read any of these books. Let me know how many stars you gave them as well. And I will see you in my next video. Bye guys.